Hi, this is Tamara Lewis with another installment of What's Going Online. I want to talk about how to increase interactivity in your discussions in your online courses. So I hope you're not like this person. I hope you're not saying, help, help, how do I get my students to talk online? But sometimes that is really a challenge. Certainly, face-to-face instruction is much easier in terms of creating that sort of community that you have to create in order to be able to talk more easily with students. You can read their body language, you can have eye contact, there's proximity that you can also achieve in your classrooms. But that does not mean that you should despair because you're now teaching online. The fact is you can do these things online. You just have to know the right tools to help you get going. So speaking of tools, I want to talk about 3 examples of discussion forums. Now, these are discussion forums that you can have with your students, and they can be written, but they also have possibilities of being verbal. And so that's why I want to talk about 2 web-based tools. One of them is called Flipgrid. The second one is called VoiceThread. And then I will also talk about how you can set up your discussion forum within your learning management system, and we'll look at it on Blackboard. Flipgrid is a web-based tool. It permits you to record a prompt. It's just a video in which you ask a question or say something that prompts the students then to have to respond in a way to you. So I've created one here for a course that I'm going to have in the fall, hopefully, and
Hello, Skills 5 students. This is Dr. Lewis. I just wanted to give you a quick introduction to our course and let you know that I'm really.
so that's going to stop there. When you're done with that, the students have an option, and you can see this box right here. This is an option to actually reply to you. As soon as they hit this button, it's going to open up a video for them to actually record themselves as a reply to whatever you say. So I'll just demonstrate it quickly here. Hi. Hi, this is Dr. Lewis. I just wanted to respond and also introduce myself and tell you that I'm really looking forward to being in your course. Now pressing next, I can actually review it.
Hi, this is Dr. Lewis. I just wanted to respond and also introduce myself and tell you that I'm really looking forward to being in your course. Hi, this is Dr. Lewis. I just wanted to respond and
Then it requires you to take a selfie, and that sort of goes at the front of your video as your picture. And you press next. Now it makes your video, which is a response to the video that the teacher has left for you, and you submit it. So
Hello,
now
Skills 5 students. This is Dr. Lewis. I just wanted to give you.
when I go back, I can see there's a student that's responded right here. So eventually you get all of the responses from your students. Now, I've only showed you this because I wanted you to see how it works in the actual place where you do your own work as a teacher. But it turns out that you can take anything that you put here and you can embed it inside of your learning management system. So I will show you in a few minutes how I've embedded this actually inside of my learning management system. And now it's there, and students don't have to leave Blackboard at all to have a response to this particular video. We'll see that in a minute, but before we go there, let me show you the second video tool that I want everyone to be aware of, and it's called VoiceThread. So it's going to take a little bit for this to populate on my screen, but this is the VoiceThread that I created. And when I created the voice thread, I had some options. So the first option, of course, is you can add media. Now, I normally first start off with my slides. So I usually take a slide that I've made in PowerPoint and I put it in here, and then I add a, a webcam video. But you don't have to add a webcam video. You can add an audio recording or whatever you want. You can have media sources, anything that you want to put there. I usually do a video because I like to give them a prompt for how I want them to respond to whatever piece of writing that I have them responding to, or slide or something that I have. So here is my video just telling them what to do, and here is what I want them to respond to. And when I create this as a document, it has this together with this, it becomes like a slideshow for them to see. And I'm not going to show it to you here because I don't want to generate it here. I'm going to use it inside of my learning management system, that is to say on Blackboard, and you'll see it there as one particular piece that students respond to. So what I'm going to do next now is just go to Blackboard, and I'm going to show you what all of this looks like when you embed it in your learning management system. I've created a test course where I do a lot of my training. And in this test course, I'm going to go to course description, where I've embedded the 2 exercises for discussions that I had showed you before. So you can see the Flipgrid is embedded directly here. And you get the embed text from the Flipgrid, and then you add it here on Blackboard. And I'll just show you how that works. Basically, you can add any kind of item. And when you go into add an item, you have this HTM. So once you have any embed code, it doesn't really matter what it is. If you press HTM, then you bring this up and you put your embed code in there. And when you put your embed code in there, you can also put some space and you can type in whatever message you want to say about leave me a comment or whatever you want to say. And once you generate that, it actually puts it into your management system. And when it puts it into your management system, then you can actually populate what you're trying to create. Now, I'm not going to actually do that because I don't want to embed it twice. However, I've embedded this introduce yourself, and the students can do it directly. So on this big plus sign, they can put a plus and they can record a response to me. So they don't ever have to go out to the system on the web tool itself out on the internet, because I've already put it inside the learning management system. And this is the voice thread that I was telling you about. I'm going to play that because I've actually didn't play it for you before, so that you can see how it works. So here's my video. And then this second place is the slide. So if I go back, that's the video.
Hello, students. I've got something here that I really want to get your opinion on. This is to do with our next.
So you can see I'm giving my prompt here, and then if they press this, they get to my actual slide, and you can make it into a full screen. And then you yourself can respond. There's a little X at the bottom of this, and the students can respond, and they get these choices. They can record themselves, they can do audio only. There's also a text choice, and it then eventually produces this. So this is an example of a text that I left earlier. But if I pressed on audio, I could also leave an audio, and it'll ask me to get permission. And then if I allow it, I can actually make the recording. So I didn't want to allow it, so it gave me that screen. But that is an example of what happens when you actually embed it inside. Now, there's another way to talk with your students. So you can actually just use what's available in Blackboard. There's a tool. It's in the left-hand side under Course Tools. So at first it might look like this. Press Course Tools, and then there's something called Discussion Board. And when you choose Discussion Board, it comes to a screen with the board already set up. And you open up the board, and then you have to create a separate forum that deals with whatever topic you want to do. So you can see I've made some topics here already so that if a student wants to come in, they can respond. So you create a topic by saying create forum, and only you can create this. So you create the forum and you call it something. And when you call it something, then you need to give a prompt. Tell me about whatever. You can say, what do you think about this content? Whatever prompt is going to start the conversation. So think of something that's really provocative that you want to talk about from your course. Make a prompt up for it. Put it in here. And then you submit it. And when you submit it, it becomes your new discussion forum. Down here, there's a conversation now. If a student goes in here and presses conversation, they can create a thread. So they open it up and they create a thread. And when they create a thread, that's their response to you. So now they can say, I think, and then down here, they have to give their actual response. This idea, and they can do whatever they want to, say whatever they want, they submit. And when they submit, then it becomes their response to you. So that's me responding to the thread that was started. And when you go back and you see what's going on in your discussion, you can tell how many students have actually responded to the various threads. So I'll just show you some because I've got several examples here. So if you go in here, the first one, you'll see that there's a total of 5 posts. And if you look inside of it, you see I was playing the part of a student. So I have put it 3 different ways and it's been published. So those are 3 different threads. And that if that was a separate student, it would show up as a separate student responding and you would be able to see who they were. So that's how you deal with the discussion forum. And that is the last of the tools that I wanted to show you on this possibility. We've seen how Flipgrid, VoiceThread, and actually the discussion forum in your learning management system can help you build a sense of strong community in your online course.